Today we are going to build an Acrobee V2. When I first started FPV I wanted to fly something indoors, get the hang of doing all this flying stuff. So I bought myself an Eachine, I think this is a QX9D. It's fine, it flies around, it's not got a lot of power, you wouldn't want to do too many tricks with it. It gives you some basic stick control. It's okay, they're not bad. I mean, I've blown up the VTX on this a number of times and replaced it a few times, but at the end of the day this still works. This is not a bad little quad. But it's not a tiny whoop, and it's not really going to give you an awful lot more than just being able to hover around. So what I've ordered from Drone Junkies in the UK is all the bits to build a newbie drone, tiny whoop style, quotes, air quotes, drone. The reason it's tiny whoop style, tiny whoop is a trademark. This is a specific frame built and designed by Newbie Drone. It has all their specific parts and it's really good. So I really am looking forward to building this. I want to fly this around my house. I bought some LEDs, I've got some little props for it. It all comes in a little box and I've got my frame. So I'm really excited to build this, so hopefully you'll join me in me putting this together. Right, so let's start with the frame. So it comes in a little box like this. This is a highly durable frame. Just as a comparison size, there we go. Right, so that's the tiny whoop style Newbie drone. That's the QX9D, and that's a Rooster. Much smaller. So this frame is designed to be quite strong. It's quite rigid around the ducts, and everything should fit in here. So this should be a really straightforward build. So you get one of these frames, and the way you know that there is the forward section, this part is the forward section. You can see that by it has a, there we go, this angle bit goes forward, this bit here goes backwards. So that way's forward. Right, so the next thing you need is your camera pod. So if I just open this up, put the lid down there, get some of these bits of solder out of the way. So let's take that out, put that there. And there's various screws and bits and pieces in here. Let's get those all out of the way. There we go, put those down. Right, so let's have a quick look at this. So this is everything in one. So you have a video transmitter, you have obviously your camera, you have also have your flight controller in here, and because this is a brushed motor, sorry, it's really straightforward. You just plug various bits and pieces in there. So the motors I'm using are the black motors. They do 4 different levels of motors. They do the silvers, which are basic, blacks, which are sort of indoor, possibly a little bit outdoor, gold, which are really fast, and then they do a unicorn version, which looks pretty scary, which is their really super high powerful version. So what we're going to do is just pop this little elastic band off here. There we go. That gives us the power cable. And then we're going to just push this through this little gap here. There we go. Right, so we're going to take our little grommets, look like that, put these into each of the corners of the flight board. Okay. So as with all drones, these are to soften and remove the vibration from the frame, so that the gyroscopes don't have any problems. So they're always very useful. There's a couple of different ways of doing this, but realistically the gummy option is normally one of the best for putting these in. So I just want to make sure they're nicely seated. There we go. I can then put my camera back on the top, like so. Then what we want to do is make sure I'm properly orientated. I want to sit this, let's get the camera back out of the way again, sit this down on top of those pins. There we go. There we go. So that's now all in. Just need to remember which way is the front. That's this way is the front. So let's just plug the camera back in. There we go. And all we need is a Phillips head screwdriver. I have found the additional rubber band, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stretch this out over this. Okay, so just pull that tight over there like that, so it holds it in, and just bring this here forward, the front of the lens. There we go. Right, so then get this piece here, scroll that down, then just try and loop this bit here and that, like that. There we go. Right, so that's the antenna sorted and the video antenna sorted. Right, now for the motors. So, as I said before, I've gone for the black motors, so let's pop these out of their casing. There we go, these are absolutely tiny. So they're the motors. There's 4 of them obviously, one for each corner. You get 2 different colours. One of them's clockwise, one of them's anti-clockwise. So I'm going to start this facing forward. I'm going to take a black and white motor. I'm just going to twist the wires up a little bit to make them so they're easier to install. Okay, so I'm going to run that wire down the hole. Trying to make sure that the little, I don't know if you can see, that these little wires don't get caught on that little nubbin on the bottom of it. There we go, that's that in. Perfect. Screw those up a little bit, twist them up, like so. Bring them up to the body. And just no soldering required, just pop that little port in there, and all I need to do is get these little rubber pieces, wrap that round there. There we go, that's one motor done. Now I just need to do 4 more. Right, so that's now put together, and those are all in place. Little USB port at the back for us to plug into. So now we need to put the props on. So these are the Sheen props they would have for their little micro quads. They'll do for a starting point. So facing forwards, blades turning inwards. So there we go. That is it built. Now I've got some LEDs to put on there, but I'm going to go and check this works first, then I'll install those later on. So now, let's see it fly.
let's just sum this all up. So I really enjoyed flying the Beebrain V2. It was a really nice drone to fly. Pretty straightforward to build. A few little oddities, but fine. The range was pretty good. I mean, it can run at 25 megawatts. You have got smart audio, so you can configure as you fly, so you can go into beta flight and do the usual bits and pieces. It worked straight away, no problems at all. One thing I did find a bit strange is the radio signal was a little bit shorter than I expected it to be, so it was struggling to fly around the house. Now my house is pretty bad for signal, but it was shorter than I'd expect it to be. But the video signal wasn't too bad. Flew outside, that worked really well. Flew outside in the snow. So I really liked it. I thought it was a really good drone. I really enjoyed flying it, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's interested in flying around their own house or flying a tiny whoop type drone. Well, that's all for this video, and I'll see you next time.